Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Lukas, and in this video I want to talk about this limited edition PRS CE 24. Oh, hello there! Welcome to this unboxing. We have it, the gig bag. It's pretty similar to the SE gig bag. Tremolo or trem arm, and Allen key and sticker. Thank you for choosing PRS Guitar. Registration, okay. Trem arm. Description and operating instructions. Okay, cool. Big sticker. Leaflet. Man himself and one from a worker from the factory. Nice touch, nice touch. Oh yeah, I can hear the screws and stuff. Okay, extra protection up here. Look at the grain. Very cool. Satin finish. Rosewood fretboard with bird inlays. Birds, 24 frets. CE. The logo is in gold. Nice. Serial 22. 22. The neck is satin as well. Feels great. Just love a satin finish neck. It's very nice to touch this. Yeah, the mahogany basically. There's no cap, no veneer, nothing on top. Just the mahogany. already have two PRS SEs. I have a Custom 24, which is right there. And I have a Tremonti, which is heavily modded. It has the US Tremonti pickups and was modded to be more like a core PRS. And so far I didn't have a lot of experience with American-made PRS guitars. I played a couple in shops and at a Guitar Summit a few years ago, but I never really played one for over a longer period of time. And I think with the American lines there is the S2, which is American-made but using import parts. So the pickups are those made in Indonesia. Then there is the CE24, which is spec-wise pretty similar to the core models, but with a bolt-on neck. And then of course the core and the 10 top and the private stock and yeah, the really expensive stuff. And for me, the CE24 was always the most interesting model. I like Fender guitars, so I don't have any issue with the bolt-on design. And I wanted to have the PRS, the US made pickup or pickups and electronics, and that's why I was looking at the CE24. And they usually cost around 2,400 to 2,800 euro, and that's just a lot of money. Pretty much accidentally I found this edition, which is limited to 100 in Europe, and it is special because it's a full mahogany body, so there's no maple cap. You could say it's a CE24 standard with this body and without the maple cap and the flame top. The prices of this guitar, of this particular model, are all over the place. It goes from the lowest what I've seen and where I purchased it as well, it was around 1,900 euro, and the most expensive was 2,700. So priced like the regular CE24s, maybe because it's a limited run, I'm not sure. Because it's not having a maple top, I think it is supposed to be a little bit more affordable. When I took it out of the gig bag, the guitar, and I inspected it, it was pretty much flawless. You could say the action is a tad high, but that's just how the factory setup, how they do it. It's the high E string is about 2 millimeters, which is on the higher side, but it just plays great, so I didn't adjust it yet. The only thing I had to adjust when I took it out, it was just the intonation, was a hair off. That's pretty much all. Other than that, there were no finish flaws. Everything was working properly. Everything was as it's supposed to be. I was really inspecting it closely, and I noticed that there's a tiny gap here and here between the neck and the body, so it's not perfectly seated. But I read in a forum post that there is some tolerance. PRS customer service replied to the guy asking if the gap is normal, and PRS replied that it is within the tolerance. So it's just a tiny gap, but yeah, when you first have this kind of guitar in your hand, you're just not sure if that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, let's start from the top. We can of course see the PRS logo. The plate just says CE, which stands for Classic Electric, in case you didn't know. PRS locking tuners. Those are the phase 2, I think, because the phase 3, if I'm not mistaken, have the open gear on the back, which I think look even cooler, but yeah, they work great. The whole tune, the nut is self-lubricating that PRS designed. It is a maple neck, which you cannot see because it's painted black, in a matte finish, which just feels great. The other CE24s also have this satin / matte feel on the neck. It's just the maple and it's not blackout like this limited edition. We have the bird inlays. It's not mother of pearl, it's just plastic. And we also have a nice rosewood fretboard. Of course, 24 frets. It's a CE24, so that one's pretty obvious. Radius, of course, 10-inch. PRS standard specs. The scale length is 25-inch. Then let's get to the body. It is full mahogany. It is thin. It is thinner than my SE Custom 24, 5 or 6 millimeters less, because that's just a maple cap on the Custom 24. So maybe, yeah, I assume it's just thinner because there's no maple top on it. We have the 8515 pickups, US made. The tremolo is PRS designed, so this one's not made in the US, but it holds tune perfectly and yeah, works just fine. We have PRS electronics in there. I noticed that this volume knob turns pretty easily, and I looked it up if that's a defect or if it's supposed to be like this, and apparently Paul Reed Smith himself likes it this way. And it's not that you it moves by itself. It's just when you touch it, it's really easy, and the push-pull tone has more resistance to it, feels differently. This one is for the push-pull as well. The pickups in the guitar, the 8515s, in my opinion, are just brilliant. I love the sound of them a lot. It's very transparent and it's just a great sound, and I think the split sounds are just amazing with these pickups. They just sound great. And the craziest thing is you can get these individually in Europe at the moment, and they cost 600 euro, just those two pickups. And yeah, that's just insane. I would never, to be honest, I wouldn't pay 600 just for the pickups. But having them in the guitar, I think it's absolutely awesome. And that's what, what I like about the CE line compared to the S2. I'm sure the S2s are also great guitars, but they're having the same pickups as the SE models. So in that case, why not just buy an SE and upgrade that, just like I did with my Tremonti, for example. Yeah, it has some different features as well because it's US made, maybe the electronics and yeah, the wood. But to me, then the difference is not big enough. Especially because S2s cost around 2,000 euro here, and this one was 1,900. So for me, it was just the obvious choice to get this one. 3-way toggle switch, nothing fancy here. Let's have a look at the back. These are not recessed, which would have been even cooler, but it's no problem. You don't really feel it. You can see it with the lights. It has this violin carve as well. And one thing that I noticed first, and I wasn't sure if I don't like it or if it's bothering me, is that it's having like this tiny lip here. With your forearm here, you can feel it a little bit when you go over it. To be honest, when I play, I don't notice at all. It's just like sitting here, and when you go moving your arm like this, you just feel okay. It's not like a Strat where it's the carve for the arm. Absolutely worth mentioning is that this is a satin nitro finish, and it's pretty thin because the other CEs also have a nitro finish, and cores as well. They just, I think a couple of years ago, PRS switched to nitro finishes again. They did in the past, if I'm not mistaken, and then switched again to nitro finishes. And on this model with the full mahogany, it's just very thin. So this guitar will get relicked. It will probably where my arm is touching the guitar all the time, and maybe the neck as well. It will change. Satin usually goes to gloss, and maybe even the finish wears off a little bit. And yeah, we will see how it relics. If you're getting a satin guitar with a thick, very thin finish, like on this one, just have to be prepared that it scratches relatively easy. I don't know how it happened, but I got already 2 small scratches here. To be honest, it doesn't bother me that much as if it were a core or one with a fancy top and a gloss finish. This just feels more like a working guitar, if you know what I mean. I don't know, maybe it's the bare bones look of this guitar. I think the guitar looks great and classy, the all black. To me, it just doesn't feel like the overly fancy core models where you are really afraid to ding it and scratch it. And I think a guitar is meant to be played, and if this one relics and gets dinged up and scratched up, it doesn't bother me that much because it's just the mahogany body and it just feels differently than the fancy top ones I've played before. But feel wise, I absolutely adore this finish, and just the lacquer of it, because it just feels so awesome. You can feel the wood grain. It's just extremely nice to touch. The neck profile is the pattern thin, so it feels pretty fast with the satin feel as well. So if you like chunky necks, the pattern thin might not be ideal for you, but I think it's perfect and just what I like. And it's the same neck profile I have on my SE, so I wasn't surprised there. what's my conclusion for this? It's pretty much an in-depth first impressions video. It is a great guitar. It was, yeah, as I mentioned already, pretty much flawless. With the contour design, I still have to get used to that a little bit. One thing that's not perfect in my opinion is that it is not really shielded. There's a little bit of shielding foil on this cover, but inside the cavity there's no shielding, and due to that the pickups they pick up certain frequencies in the room or in your surroundings. It might pick up the amp. In my case it pick up the ceiling light, which is turned off at the moment. The noise goes away whenever you touch the strings, for example, or anything metal. So grounding is all right. We tested that as well. Yeah, so it's pretty much just the lack of shielding. I'm not sure if adding some shielding would help with that, but I also think that it's made like this for a reason. At least PRS had something in mind designing this. So overall, it is made to specs. It feels flawless playing, and I love the finish. I love the pickups. It is, I didn't talk about the weight yet. It's extremely light because, yeah, no maple or just a maple neck. The body is solid mahogany. It has a great feeling neck. It has absolutely zero fret buzz. The fret ends were fantastic. The frets were polished. There was nothing scratchy. Right after unpacking, I just had to tune it up and could start playing. So it was just the intonation that was slightly off. Other than that, everything was great. And yeah, it was an awesome unboxing experience, and I'm very, very happy with my purchase and with my first American-made PRS. Certainly not an affordable guitar, but it's cheaper than the other custom 24s. And of course, it's also cool to have a limited edition guitar because, I mean, it's just 100 guitars. If you're interested in this model and you live in Europe, go check out Thomann and all other music stores. I saw a couple of them in the Netherlands. There's one in Austria, in Vienna, at Klangfarbe, and other German shops have them as well. So if you want this model, be quick because, yeah, it's limited. If you also have a PRS guitar, maybe also a CE 24, leave a comment down below and share your experiences. Alright, everyone, thanks a lot for watching. See you in another video. Bye bye.